All right, guys, so we are back where we left off. So this is now going to move on to question number 13. Okay, so it's still going to be the same process as what we were doing before. All right, so first thing that we are going to do is find the slope. So the way we're going to do that is just set up our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 2 minus 0 over 0 minus negative 2. You got to be careful with that. So it's going to become plus positive. So I'm going to have 2 up top over 2 on the bottom. So my slope's actually just going to be 1. From there, I take my slope and I pick a point. Let's just say I pick the second one. We've done the first one the last 2 times, so we can switch it up. So I'll put 2 in for y, right? Because I have my x, I have my y. It's equal to 1 for my slope times 0 for my x plus b. So 1 times 0 is just going to cancel out. So I'm going to be left with a y-intercept or a b of 2. So now I'm going to write the equation of my line. So y is equal to 1x or just x. I normally just write it with x, but feel free to put the 1 there, plus 2. So then to get this into standard form, first thing I'm going to have to do is subtract x from both sides. So negative x plus y is equal to 2. This is again where I don't have to worry about fractions, but I can't have my first number, my x, be negative. So I have to multiply it by a negative 1. So then that's going to look like x minus y is equal to negative 2, and that would be our answer. Okay, let's look over here at number 14, not 4, 14. First thing we're going to do, find our slope. So m is equal to negative 4 minus 0 over negative 2 minus 0. So negative 4 over negative 2 is equal to a slope of positive 2. So then from there, I'm going to take my slope and I'm going to pick this first point, 0, 0. Zeros are always easy to work with. So 0 is equal to 2 times 0 plus b. So that means the 2 times 0 is going to go away. So 0 is just what our y-intercept is. Okay, so I take that, I take my slope. We're going to write the equation of our line. So y is equal to 2x. Remember I said you can write the plus 0, but you do not need it. So then to rewrite this into standard form, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So negative 2x plus y is equal to 0. This is going to be a situation, again, where I might not have a fraction, but I'm still going to have to multiply by something to get rid of that negative in the front. So multiply by negative 1 to give me 2x minus y is equal to 0. That 0 does not change. Okay? So that's done with those types of problems. Now we have a few problems towards the end, right? We have, 8 more problems to go. This is going to be writing the equation of the line, parallel or perpendicular, slope, intercept form, standard form. We're going to see what each one looks like individually. So these first ones are written in slope, intercept form. Okay, so through this point, parallel to y is equal to 1/2 x minus 1. So all we care about here is the slope, and since it's parallel, it's going to stay the same. Okay, so then I can just go ahead and use my point and my slope to set up my equation. So negative 2 is equal to 1/2 times negative 5 plus b. Negative 2 is equal to negative 5 halves plus b. Add 5 halves to both sides. Negative 2 is the same as negative 4 over 2. So negative 4 halves plus 5 halves would give us positive 1/2. Obviously, you can go ahead and use your calculator for that, but that's kind of another way to think about it. Have my y-intercepts, have my slope, so I can write the equation of my line. Y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1/2. Right, and if you remember, we don't care about anything else in here. The only thing we care about is the slope in the equation of the line that they're giving us. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at number 16. Again, still parallel, passing through 4, negative 5, parallel to this equation. Y is equal to negative 1/4 x minus 2. Parallel, only care about the slope. Everything else can be ignored from that. Again, parallel means I'm keeping the slope. So I have my point, I have my slope. So negative 5 is equal to negative 1/4 times 4 plus b. So negative 5 is equal to negative 1/4 times 4 is just going to be negative 1 plus b. We'll add 1 to both sides. So our y-intercept or our b is negative 4. Okay, take that and our slope, write the equation of our line. y is equal to negative 1/4 x minus 4. Okay, now we're going to look at, again, keeping with the parallel, but writing it in standard form now. That's going to be the biggest difference. Okay, so after we get it into slope-intercept form, we have that extra step. So parallel, only care about the slope. Whether it's perpendicular or parallel, you only care about the slope. But when it's parallel, we use the point and the slope given because that slope will stay the same. So 2 is equal to 1/4 times negative 4 plus b. So 2 is equal to negative 1 plus b. Add 1. So our b, or our y-intercept, is 3. So now we're going to write the equation of our line. Y is equal to 1/4 x plus 3. Now we want this in standard form though, so I'm going to subtract 1/4 x from both sides. So negative 1/4 x plus y is equal to 3. Multiply everything by negative 4. The negative to cancel out the negative out front, and the 4 to cancel out the fraction. So I'm just going to have x minus 4y is equal to negative 12. Okay? So now let's look at one more problem like this one. Through to negative 5, parallel to y is equal to negative 1/5 x plus 4. Again, only care about the slope, and since it's parallel, it'll stay the same. Everything else we can ignore. Have my point, have my slope. So negative 5 is equal to negative 1/5 times 2 plus b. Negative 5 is equal to negative 2/5 plus b. We're going to add 2/5. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Add 2/5 to both sides. Negative 5 is the same as negative 25 over 5. So negative 25/5 plus 2/5 is going to give us negative 23/5. And that is equal to b. And let me just make sure I'm not going crazy by checking that on my calculator right now. Right? Okay. And that looks good. Okay. So then from there, we write the equation of our line. Y is equal to negative 1/5 x minus 23/5. So again, we want this in standard form. So I have to get the x to the other side. So add 1/5 x to both sides. 1/5 x plus y is equal to negative 23 over 5. Here, I don't have to worry about multiplying by a negative because my x value is positive, the coefficient is positive, but I do need to get rid of the fraction. So multiply everything by 5. So this is going to give me x plus 5y is equal to negative 23. Okay? All right, last 4, we can do this. So now we're going to go back to writing in slope-intercept form, but now we're dealing with ones that are perpendicular. Okay, all perpendicular. So still only care about the slope. Okay, don't care about the y equals, don't care about the x, or if there is a y-intercept. But now that it's perpendicular, that means I'm going to want the opposite reciprocal slope. So my slope in this problem, I'm going to flip it to make it 3 over 2. And since it's negative, it's going to become positive. So now I can use that and my point to figure out the equation of my line. So 3 is equal to 3/2 times 2 plus b. 3 is equal to 3 plus b. Subtract 3. So my b is 0. So when I write the equation of the line, it's going to be y is equal to 3/2 x. You can write plus 0, but you do not have to. And again, these first 2 problems are being written in slope-intercept form, so you don't have to worry about anything after that. Okay? All right, let's look at number 20. In number 20, we have negative 5/2 is the slope they're giving us, but again, it's perpendicular. I don't care about anything else other than the slope in that equation, but the slope that I'm going to want, I'm going to flip it to make it 2/5, and since it was negative, it'll now be positive. So I can use 2/5 and the point that they are giving me. So 1 is equal to 2/5 times 5 plus b. 1 is equal to 2 plus b. Subtract 2 from both sides. So negative 1 is equal to b. So then y is equal to 2/5 x minus 1. Okay? Remember, once we use that slope to get our new one, we don't care about it. All right, last two problems. Now we're writing them in the standard form of the equation. Okay, this might be a little bit of a nice one. If you remember, perpendicular to x equals 0. This was one of our special cases. X equals 0 is always a vertical line. The only thing that can be perpendicular to a vertical line is a horizontal line. A horizontal line always has the equation y equals a number. In this case, it is whatever the y value is of your ordered pair. So y is equal to -4 would be our answer. Okay, that was a nice one, right? Let's go ahead and look at number 22. This one we're going to have to do a little bit more work. Perpendicular, all we care about is the slope. Everything else we can ignore. So my slope for this one, I'm going to flip it. So if it's 2, I'm going to make it 1/2. Since it's positive, I'm going to make it negative. So now I have my slope. I'm going to use my point. -1 is equal to -1/2 times 2 plus b. -1 is equal to -1 plus b. Add 1. So 0 is equal to b. Okay? So I'm going to write the equation of my line. Y is equal to -1/2 x. Again, you can write plus 0, but you don't have to. Okay? So for those of you that like to write it, I'll throw it in for this problem. Is not necessary though. So then from there, I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. So 1/2 x plus y is equal to 0. To get rid of the fraction, I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So x plus 2y is equal to 0, and that would be my answer. Okay. So those are our 22 problems that you guys have been working on these last 2 days. Hopefully after watching the video, looking at the answer key, maybe even asking a couple of the kids that you know are in our class, any confusion or any questions you might have had will hopefully have been answered at this point. If you are still watching this video and you are really confused on something, you've rewatched me and you still don't understand how I'm getting it, please, please, please do not feel bad sending me an email. But, I really do want you guys to kind of watch this video, kind of figure it out, see what you are able to do. Again, this is stuff that we have learned, which is nice. We are not going into new material. So the nice thing is, you should be able to look back into notes, look back into, really any of the stuff that we've been doing at all in Unit 4 kind of encompasses most of this. But again, like I said, if you have a question, feel free to send me an email. Don't forget about those little kind of helpful reminders that I gave you if things aren't loading. I said that at the start of the first video. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all soon.